Do you sometimes feel like your marketing and advertising is a bottomless money pit? You hire an ad agency, they ask you what your budget is, and then they go about designing creative or catchy ads that are designed to get the attention of your prospect and then imprint your company name through repetition. The problem is that virtually all ad agencies are still living in the big brand era of the past. Back then, creativity and repetition became the calling card of big advertisers, and their methods trickled down into other media. Starting back in the 70s, this became the no-brainer formula for marketing dominance for companies with the financial resources to pull it off. Business schools started teaching marketing and advertising based on these hackneyed methods, churning out graduates who only knew one way to do marketing. Brand builder marketing and advertising became the de facto standard for how you do it. And now, after a few decades, nobody even questions the formula. The current state of marketing is a mess. Most ads can be classified into two categories. One, institutional advertising, or two, menu board style advertising. Institutional ads essentially say, here's our name, here's our best attempt at being creative, and here's the biggest budget we can muster to support this crap. You remember? Creative, repetition, and positioning? Virtually all ad agencies, large and small, specialize in institutional advertising. It's what you see in most print and TV ads. Menu board advertising essentially says, here's our name, and here's a list of what we have for sale. Just like a menu at a restaurant. For example, we're a law firm. We handle motor vehicle accidents, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, work-related injuries, wrongful death, dog bites, Social Security disability, dangerous drugs, and truck accidents. Oh, and here's a picture of one of our attorneys. Get the point? It's just like a menu at a restaurant. The ad is simply a list of services or what's for sale. You can't measure ROI with institutional or menu board style advertising. It's impossible. Any dollar spent on advertising and marketing should come back to you and bring along a bunch of their friends with them. But how can you know in advance? Let's take a look at how to figure out how much money you should spend on advertising. It seems people always want some sort of magical formula. They want to know, in our industry, the budget should be 10% of sales, or in this other industry, it should be 15% of sales minus the cost of goods sold, or some other arbitrary figure. In our professional experience, we believe you should spend as much as possible, as long as it's making you money. But you have to think in a certain way to pull this off. Most people concern themselves too much about industry standards and corporate budgets, rather than monopolizing their market. Too often, clients are shocked when they find out how much media costs when it comes time to launch their advertising campaign. For instance, an entry-level radio campaign can run anywhere from $800 to $8,000 per week, depending on the size of the market. Or a TV commercial can run from $30,000 to $500,000 for a 30-second spot on national television. How about spending anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 per month for a Google AdWords PPC campaign? It's easy to conclude that these forms of advertising are expensive. However, you have to ask yourself, do the ad campaigns really cost too much? A savvy advertiser will tell you that the cost of an ad campaign is not the real issue. What's important is the return the ad campaign will bring you. For instance, if you invested $8,000 a week for a radio advertising that generated $10,000 in profit, would $8,000 be a lot of money? Of course not. You'd be a fool to not do whatever you could to invest more in advertising in this kind of return. Heck, I'd invest $25,000 in any type of advertising campaign that returned even a $2,000 profit in a week. Can you get those kind of returns in the stock market? Heck no. Earning a fortune in business is easy when you learn how to harness the potential of marketing and advertising leverage.